Welcome to Let's Clear the Air, a podcast sponsored by the Allergy, Asthma, and Sinus Center, dedicated to educating listeners about allergies, asthma, and immunology.
Welcome back to Let's Clear the Air, all things allergy, asthma, and immunology. I'm your host, Liz Edwards, and today I'm with Brittany Harper. We've been wanting to sit down for a while.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Well, we are so glad you are here as one of our nurse practitioners, and I always love to find out, everyone's journey, like how you got here, Did you know you always wanted to be in medicine?
I did. So when I was younger, I was interested in becoming a vet. So for the longest time, it was, I want to be a vet when I grow up. Yeah. And then kind of ventured into the medical route, thought I wanted to be a doctor. And then as I got into my junior and senior year of high school, I decided I didn't want to go through all those years of schooling and then residency and training, but wanted to stay in the medical career. So I chose nursing.
Is anyone else in your family in the medical field?
No, they're not.
So they must
I get asked all the questions all the time.
So like at every family gathering is always turned to...
Or it's like you get the text with the picture, hey, what do you think this?
I love that. So coming out of nursing school and becoming a practitioner, where was your first job?
So my first job was at Vandy Children's in the cardiac step down. Okay. So we took care of kiddos, infants to teenagers that had congenital heart defects, that had gone through palliations, surgeries, and we were caring for them in the step down side.
That's high pressure.
It was.
That's a lot of activity. We're so glad we have you here. What do you think of practicing allergy?
I've really enjoyed it. I started working here in October and was very open-minded coming into this practice, and I've really enjoyed it. You get to be a provider in the allergy, asthma, and sinus realm, as well as kind of dabbling with GI and dermatology. Yeah,
there's a lot of aspects of our lives that we don't realize that allergy infiltrates. Correct. If it's not, talk about that.
They all kind of overlay in a sense.
Yeah. So when someone comes in, what's going through your mind when you have a new patient in the office and you're trying to help them solve
so puzzles? I really enjoy getting to see new patients because it's kind of like a blank space. And, whatever we decide in our visit, we're doing something to better help the patient. It's always starting with, do you have any allergy symptoms, any history of asthma, and then making a plan of care from there. Usually that's starting with skin testing to the environmental allergens, and then deciding what to do from those results.
Do you yourself have allergies?
I don't.
Oh, okay.
No.
I always ask.
I didn't acquire them moving to Kentucky, so I got lucky.
You did get lucky. Yeah, because you grew up, did you say in Nebraska?
Yes, in Columbus, Nebraska, which is right outside of Omaha.
Okay. And then what age did you move to Kentucky?
I was in 6th grade when we moved to Kentucky.
And then you moved to Nashville for your job?
I lived in Russellville, Kentucky, and then moved to Bowling Green, Kentucky. I went to WKU for nursing school.
Okay, yeah.
Graduated, and then moved to Nashville after that.
Okay. Nashville is great, but it does seem like a bowl that's holding all the allergens.
Yes.
So you're lucky.
It does seem to be that way, especially patients that I see that have moved here from various places. They'll say that they've never had allergies before, and then they move to Tennessee, and all of a sudden they have allergy symptoms. And sure enough, they usually are symptomatic.
Do you think it hits people right when they get here, or does it usually take a season or two to kick in?
That's a great question. I would likely say a season, like a full year of being here. Yeah. And then finding out.
So what do you like to do in your spare time?
Let's see. Monday through Friday during the work week, I get up at 5 to go to a 6 a.m. CrossFit class.
I love it.
So I'm there for an hour, and then shower, change, and rush to get to work on time. And then in the evenings, I really enjoy cooking. So now that I don't work 12-hour shifts, I am able to get home in time to be able to cook dinner.
Yeah, that's great. What kind of food do you like to cook?
Nothing specific. I do eat on the healthier side. So a protein usually, and then a veggie and a carb of some sort.
Yeah. What is, we were talking about this before we turned on the microphones. Talk about what's like the number one thing you get asked when people find out you work in allergy.
Usually they'll be like, oh, I have this food allergy. And then the further you get into talking to them, it's like, oh, okay, you are likely have a food sensitivity or an intolerance.
Right. What is the difference?
So a food allergy, it's an IgE-mediated response to the protein that's in the food. Mm-hmm. And then a food intolerance or food sensitivity is not going to present in a life-threatening response.
Okay.
And symptoms that are associated with an intolerance or sensitivity are more GI issues, constipation, bloating.
So the majority of the people out here that are like, oh, I can't have that, I'm allergic to it, it's not because they've been tested and they may or may not have had anaphylaxis in the past. It's probably because of the GI and the bloating.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You must get all kinds of questions at the family dinner table.
Oh, yes. So it's always a fun time.
Well, it has been great to visit with you today. I am so glad we got to finally sit down, and we're so glad you're with us now.
Thanks, Liz.
It's so good to be with you. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you.
We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Let's Clear the Air. Please consider following this podcast, and remember, if you want helpful and accurate information about allergies and asthma, our allergy experts are here to clear the air.